When COVID-19 hit in the spring of 2020, nearly every industry was impacted, with production and manufacturing being hit especially hard. Demand for many products slowed, and if one company faced an outbreak, it could lead to extreme disruptions across the supply chain. However, Orbis Corporation, located in Bardstown, took on these challenges, remaining open and avoiding layoffs. Here with me is Shelley Bell, Orbis Human Resources Manager, to talk about changes Orbis has made to retain and hire new employees. Well, Shelley, thank you so much for the time today. I look forward to kind of picking your brain a little bit how you guys have become very successful in some situations here.
Thank you for having me today. I'm happy to talk about what Orbis has been doing as far as our recruiting efforts in the community, both in Bardstown and also the Lincoln Trail area. Sorry.
I feel like every business is hiring. Everywhere you go, there's a sign: hiring, hiring, hiring. Can you give us some insight on how Orbis was able to hire new employees during the pandemic?
Well, Orbis was able to pivot during the pandemic. We were, of course, an essential employer. So our product was used logistics for different companies, whether it was to transport respirators to New York or to transfer food products or other materials to different manufacturers. So with that being said, we made it known that we were a company that we were going to be open during this hard time. So there was reliable work for you. We also made sure that we were safe. So taking into account, especially the pandemic, ensuring that we had safety protocols that were in line with CDC, and also taking it a step further by even hiring an outside contractor to do some of our fogging and other type of cleaning to make sure that that sanitation level was where it needed to be, and also with training. With that being said, then we looked at pay, and we looked at what those incentives that would draw the different demographics to our company. We started $1,000 sign-on bonus, which is for the first 90 days. We did something really different than most employers generally do. We gave you that first $1,000 up front. So your first paycheck that you got, you actually received $1,000, minus taxes. Then also we looked at the different shifts. We provided a shift differential for overnight shift. We increased it by $1. So versus what we normally had for $1, now it was $2 for the first 6 months that you were working with us. And in conjunction with that, to kind of to ensure that our new employees could see a career progression, we aligned our training program so that they could receive an operator B or a next progression in the manufacturing field of production, so that they could keep that $1 after the 6 months. So just
Wow.
looking at some of those things, we also looked at education. Still working around individuals, whether it was online or whether it was also in class courses. Once they had been here for 4 months, they were able to, take advantage of it's more of a tuition advancement versus a tuition reimbursement program.
Wow. So we'll talk about more about that here in just a second. But I'm totally intrigued by this because businesses have they're struggling to find people, but
Right.
they've also struggled to keep employees. So how has Orbis been able to boost morale and maintain employees during the pandemic? I'm already hearing parts of it, but you guys have been able to maintain people during this process as well.
Well, one of the things that we look at, how they say, if you feed me, you can keep me. So, whether it's having a local taco truck, we were able to build a relationship with Chick-fil-A, provide meals. Also, some of the local restaurants, whether it was Lee's or whether it was Spoonies, providing meals for the employees on all the shifts, both day and night shifts. So that was a major thing. We provide drinks. We provide other snacks. We do different things for the employees to keep that morale built up.
Huh. And I think that's fabulous. So back to what you were talking about a few minutes ago, this program that you have to encourage employees to continue their education. Talk about that again, because I think, the growth of not just an individual, but somebody that feels like they can continue to better themselves. I think it's just an amazing thing that your company is doing to encourage that.
Well, what we have is called a continuing education program. After an employee has been here for 4 months, so generally it may be a year for most other manufacturers, but after you've been here for 4 months, you can go to any accredited college or vocational school, online or in person, submit the paperwork to HR, and we'll provide the funds for that course up front so that there's no debt to you at the beginning of the course. The only thing that we ask is that you make a C or above.
No, that's not too much to ask.
That's not like to answer C or above. But that's one of the things we do. We do hope that after you've completed either your associate certification, bachelor's degree, whatever that might be, that you do stay with us. So there is a slight clause that we need you to stay with us for about 2 years. But after that, there's lots of career growth. Well, one of the things that we've seen a lot, in fact, last semester, we had about 12 individuals that received a associate or a bachelor's degree from Western, ECTC, just, some of the different surrounding community, technical, and, state universities. So that was a really good thing.
And staying 2 years after you have completed the program is not much to ask when you think about the amount of money that it takes to further your education and to get that degree. That's a very small investment. And I would think that with the investment that you're putting into these people, that 2 years is nothing to them, because most likely they're going to stick around a lot longer than that if they feel like they're a valued commodity in that company.
That's correct. We have great examples. We have one employee that has gotten their bachelor's degree through the program. They're now a salary member of management. They started out as a production employee. So now they supervise a team of about 40 individuals. So that's a great example. We also have some other employees that were fresh out of high school. They decided that they would take advantage of the continuing education program. And now they're industrial maintenance individuals, making, well over $30 an hour. So that's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
With an associate's degree.
So I'm going to ask you this. Now I'm going to set this up with, I'm not asking for me personally, just in case my boss is watching this video. So with everything I've heard about Orbis so far, it sounds like a great place to work. So are you all currently hiring for any positions?
Yes, we are. We're currently hiring for, of course, production. We also are hiring for process setup technician and also a maintenance technician. We had a couple of our maintenance individuals that retired this year, so they're happily traveling. One's happily traveling across the U.S. in their camper, so you can't beat that.
No.
But we're looking for some good folks to take those roles.
Awesome. Well, Shelley, that is a lot of information, a lot of great information about your company and the work that Orbis is doing to one, not only during the pandemic, keeping people employed, but continuing to employ people. I appreciate the time that you've taken today to kind of fill us in on all that.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to stop and talk with us.
That's Shelley Bell, Human Resources Manager for the Orbis Corporation. If you're interested in learning more about Orbis, visit their website, orbiscorporation.com. You can also check out their Facebook page or the Kentucky Career Center Lincoln Trail for available opportunities. I'm Greg Milby, community storyteller, and this has been the Work Matters segment on Kentucky's Heartland.